Good morning, school, and welcome to this morning's reflection section. I want to talk to you this morning about ethical dilemmas and ethical theories. So, this is probably the most famous ethical dilemma, and this is the trolley problem. You've got to imagine there is a runaway trolley, and it's on course. It's on a predestined path to crash into or kill 5 people. Now, you've got to imagine that you are standing holding a lever, and if you pull the lever, you can divert the trolley to only kill 1 person. So if you want to, in your form groups, you can pause the video now and discuss what would you do in that situation. Now, most people would agree that yes, they would in fact pull the lever and divert the trolley to only kill 1 person. Whether they do this as a calculation that 1 person dying and saving the lives of 5 is always the right thing to do. Now, if you follow this approach, this is known as the utilitarian approach in ethics, that you are pursuing happiness, the greatest happiness, at all costs. You're trying to maximize the amount of happiness that there is. Now, this was created by a man called Jeremy Bentham, and he believed that an action is right if it produces the greatest good for the greatest number of people. So whatever serves the majority of people is always the right action. That's the right thing to do. Now, the dilemma can be changed and adapted. Now, this is a similar version of the trolley problem. So you've got to imagine that you are standing on a bridge and you see a runaway trolley going fast down a track, and it's going to hit 5 people. Now, you are stood in front of a very large person, and you do a quick calculation in your head and you work out that if you push the person over the bridge and onto the tracks, the size and weight of this person will be enough to stop the trolley, but you would actually have to push this person over the bridge. Now, in your form groups, you can pause the video and decide what would you do in this situation. Now, most people would say no, they wouldn't be able to go through with this. They wouldn't be able to physically push someone onto the tracks, causing their death to save the lives of 5 people. Now, this is sometimes confusing, because if all you're concerned about is saving more people's lives, then the consequences to this are both the same, but it's only the action that changes. Now, if you feel that this is the wrong thing to do in this situation, you might fall in line to virtue ethics. Now, virtue ethics was created by a man called Aristotle from ancient Greece, and he basically came up with this theory, and it's often referred to as the Goldilocks theory, about finding the best course of action in the middle. So being the best form of courage, or showing the best form of friendship or kindness and ambition. If you show too much courage, then you become arrogant, possibly. If you show too much kindness, you might give away too much. And so Aristotle used Greek mythology to try and to explain this. He said that Theseus showed the right amount of courage when he defeated the Minotaur, whereas Icarus showed the wrong amount of courage by flying too close to the sun. Now, this is an ethical dilemma that hopefully most of you will be aware of, whether or not America should have dropped the atom bomb to end World War II. Now, both of the atomic bombs that were dropped during World War II by USA roughly killed around 250,000 people and caused lasting damage to the environment. It did in fact bring an end to World War II after the Japanese surrendered, and some people believe that it may have caused less deaths if the war had have continued. Now, there is another ethical theory I'd like to tell you about, and this is called situation ethics. And this was developed by a man called Joseph Fletcher, and he believed that every situation that you come across, you should deal with love. You should do the most loving thing in that situation. He said every situation you face, you must face it with love. This was developed during the 1960s when we saw lots of changes, especially in America. The civil rights movement with Martin Luther King, there was changing attitudes to drugs, changing attitudes to violence, and feminism was on the rise as well. And Joseph Fletcher spoke at length about America dropping the atomic bomb on Japan, and he actually believed that it was the most loving thing to do in that situation, because he calculated that it probably saved more lives if by ending the war rather than allowing the war to continue. Now, if ethics is something that you are interested in, I am holding a ethics club called Ethical Thinkers every Monday lunchtime in room 29, and there we'll discuss medical ethics, environmental ethics, meta ethics, and consequential ethics. We'll discuss more as well as that. Now, I'd like to leave you all with one more ethical dilemma that you could discuss in your groups this morning. So this is known as the Heinz dilemma, developed by a sociologist called Lawrence Kohlberg, and he says this: Heinz's wife is near death. Her only hope is a recently discovered drug. The drug costs $20,000 to make, but the pharmacist who manufactures it sells it for $200,000. Heinz was rejected by his medical insurance company, so he went to everyone he knew to borrow the money. After exhausting every legal means, he could only raise $20,000. Heinz appealed to the pharmacist to take what he had. When he was rejected again, he offered to pay installments. Still, the pharmacist refused. In desperation, Heinz considers stealing the drug to save his wife. What should he do in this situation? Should Heinz break into the doctor's lab to steal the drug for his wife? Why or why not? You can discuss that in your phone groups this morning. Thank you very much.